There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit.
In tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street-smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc. And it starts now. Welcome, everyone, to The Psychic and the Doc here on the Transformation Network. I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer, and my co-host is the one and only Dr. Pat Baccili, host of the founder of the Transformation Network, host of the Dr. Pat Show. Has been multiple award-winning show for over 2 decades, and she is my co-host here of The Psychic and the Doc. We've had a lot of very amazing and life-changing events this week. Our topic is diversity is not adversity.
Yeah.
And we, when we were picking this topic, this was, probably a month ago because we schedule out.
Yeah.
And we could not have picked a more appropriate topic for the week that Pope Francis passed.
Yeah.
And I was raised Catholic, and I believe Dr. Pat, you were too. But you don't have to be Catholic to appreciate the kindness, the compassion, the devotion, the faith of Pope Francis. It's amazing because I wrote a tribute to him, and the vast majority of people have been very positive. And then of course there's people saying, he was evil and a pedophile supporter and all that. And people who are writing those things, I have to forgive you following the example of Pope Francis. I must forgive you for your ignorance, because Pope Francis was the first pope to take the child abuse scandals in the church head on. He created a mandatory reporting. Priests who were caught doing these things were brought to justice. I mean, the man really took things to the forefront. He promoted women to positions of authority within the Vatican.
Yep.
He authorized priests to bless same-sex unions, and he said that there should be no discrimination of anyone, and that every life matters and every life counts. And in my opinion, and I normally don't get political, but this time I am, if you are saying in any way that he's not a Christian, then you absolutely do not understand the teachings of Christ.
Yeah. And, I think that you and I have both studied the teachings of Christ. I am a student of the Christ letters.
Yes.
And so, there are many, and that's not only the spiritual or religion that I have studied, because for me, it was always a conundrum. Yes, at a very young age, I was in the Catholic arena. My family was. But after my homeless bout and meeting, these beautiful people with bald heads and pristine white outfits who took me off the street, I was introduced to something I'd never heard before, seen before. It was just magical for me. And I got to tell you, at 17, I didn't get it, but I never forgot it. And I became an explorer. I was curious. I had to understand more about the world, but it wasn't until I started the network that it really hit me. I'm a Capricorn, so they say we're late bloomers, just saying. But that's really true of me. I'm a late bloomer in a lot of ways, because that point up to my life, I wasn't. My sobriety in the year 2000, that led me on a whole path. Why? Because in the 12-step programs, contrary to what anybody out there says, the book says you can pick the God of your understanding. See, it doesn't say the Christian God. It doesn't say the Jewish God. It doesn't say Ba'ula. It says you can pick the God of your understanding. That opened a door for me. It was the first time in a really long time, Mark, that I could take the adversity in my life and experience diversity in a
Yes.
spiritual journey to heal.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, Pope Francis, we could do an entire show on him, but
Amazing guy. What did
amazing
he say
guy.
about the LGBTQ community? I love it. He
Who am
said
I to
something like,
judge?
yes, and he said, I think there's something in that. I think there's something to be learned. He said something like that. And then they censored him and rewrote something that he didn't say.
Mhm.
But you
Ye-
see, why do we selectively decide to be Catholic? Now, there are different schools of thought that look at Catholicism and say, you're not Christian. You don't follow this, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But we're good with the spiritual practice until that spiritual practice says something that they've never done before. Now, I got to tell you, Mark, I'm just going to say it right now. People say to me, why did you leave the Catholic Church? Oh, I got to tell you, I am somebody that did penance every week for eating something like meat on Friday. See, I'm this person that thought I was eating fried clams on Friday because Mama Doris, you should take that stuff that looked like fried clams, but they weren't. They were chitlins meat. So I would be a good Catholic girl and I would go in every Saturday, bless me, Father, for I have sinned, because I wasn't going to be able to leave the table unless I ate what was in front of me. And it was not clams, it was chitlins, and I ate it. Okay, my child, go do 20 of these and 20 of these. When they changed the rule, I stormed into the bishop where I lived at the time. And I said, I want my Hail Marys and Our Fathers back. And he looked at me and he said, what do you mean? I said, I have been coming into confession as a young child every week, scared that I was going to go to hell for eating meat every Friday, even though I knew I was eating meat. And I said, I want all those back. I want to put them in my bank account for future reference. Thank goodness the bishop had a sense of humor. But you see, this is me being confused about myself. It's not being confused about Catholicism. There's nothing confusing about it. But this is the confusion that I had in my life about what I believe. So please don't email me. I'm not putting down Catholicism. At some point, it saved my life. But this is me confused. And I had to find my way, or I know I'd be dead. How about you?
Well, I was raised Catholic. I was even considering going into the clergy, which is not an unusual thing for mediums. You know, we're drawn to the spiritual. But the reason that I didn't is because I felt that all religions are too confining. The religion, see, in my belief, God exists in spite of religion, not because of religion. And I hear people that'll say, well, we're not religious, we are Christian. And it's like, okay, well, therein lies the problem. Christianity is a religion. Buddhism is a religion. Hinduism is a religion. Islam, so on and so forth. And I believe that there is God and we're all the children of God. And it doesn't matter what you call God, just so long as you call. And that's a quote from George Harrison. On an unrelated but somewhat related note, today is the 91st birthday of Shirley MacLaine.
Yahoo! I'm going to send. I got to send a picture over to Mr. Nat. But yes, go on.
Yeah, she is not just an Academy Award-winning iconic actress. She was a member of the Rat Pack with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Joey Bishop and Sammy Davis Jr. back in the day. But just also the first major mainstream celebrity to go public with her beliefs in reincarnation, psychic abilities. She's been a huge influence in my life. In fact, I dedicated my book, The Afterlife Frequency, to Shirley MacLaine. One of the great honors of my life is I got to do a reading for her. That was just such an honor. And so Shirley, thank you. Happy birthday and many more. I saw her interviewed recently. She said, I know I don't have a whole lot of time left. She said, but I'm curious because I want to see if what I believe is real. And so she's certainly open to that. The possibility that what we believe and what there is beyond the door to the other side may be quite different than what we think it is, and I'm sure that it is. Also, there is tomorrow the triple conjunction that's being called the celestial smiley face. Now, of course, all these really cool astrological alignments, can they ever happen at 8 o'clock at night? Oh no, this is going to happen about an hour before sunrise, which would be tonight, actually tomorrow morning. And what's going to happen is Venus and Saturn are going to be in alignment, and they're going to be positioned just above the crescent moon. So it's going to look like two eyes above a smiling mouth. And that's why they say, they meaning astronomers, said this will look like a smiley face in the sky. So we have a lot of major events going on this week. And I think that the transition of Pope Francis gives everybody a chance to learn from his example that compassion, peace, selflessness, and taking a moment to just take a breath. Plus, he had a great sense of humor. The guy was hilarious. And he had all these comedians at the Vatican, and he said that humor is a gift from God. Whoopi Goldberg, he said, what you do is a gift from God. And she's like, yeah, you're the Pope. And it was funny because on The View today, Bowen Yang, the Asian comedian from Saturday Night Live, he's been cast to play J.D. Vance on Saturday Night Live. And somebody asked him, do you like playing J.D. Vance? He goes, come on, the guy's a Pope killer. So,
oh God,
which is a very controversial thing to say, but that's been circulating around. And I am in no way insinuating J.D. Vance had anything to do with the Pope's passing. But J.D. Vance, his wife and children were extremely privileged to be the last dignitaries to have a private audience with the Pope before he passed. And I'm hoping that this has stirred something within Mr. Vance, okay? Yeah. Because, we have our leaders, and I pray that our leaders have insight and vision and understand and can be motivated by the lessons of peace and light, love and understanding, like someone who, in my opinion, was a living saint.
Yeah, so much. And, I never, ever understood the persecution of Sinead O'Connor. And why didn't I understand it, but why didn't I speak out? See, this will be something that in my program, they say, have no regrets. Oh, hello, I'm human. I'm a human being. And so if I had one regret, it was when she was ostracized for tearing up a picture of the Pope back then. When was that, 1990? Tearing up a picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live, and she was blacklisted. But you see, I was abused in Catholic boarding school as a 6-year-old. So even though I knew that, and I was beat and abused, and I'm 6, because I talked to Jesus, so I was beat every night with an iron brush. I'm not kidding. I will remember that until I die, but I never lost my love. And when that happened, I was young. No, I wasn't. I was, come on, let's be real. I wasn't that young, people. I knew enough that I could have spoken, I could have done something. I could have said something. And even after the network started, I didn't say anything. And I watched Sinead O'Connor go through her life. And by the way, she was only talking about Ireland at the time. And we now know what happened in Ireland. So we'll do another show and we'll talk about this. There's a show we will do on regrets. Even though you're supposed to preach in some, what do I want to call it? Spiritual centers, not to have any regrets. I want to say to you all, you can have a nanosecond of regret, but don't become your regret. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we're hitting it. We're going to we're not going to hit the Pope. We're not doing that.
No, we're going to the phones.
But I'm praying for one thing, that he is replaced, never can be, but somebody that picks up the baton and doesn't take us back in time. And I can't help thinking about the movie Conclave. So let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We're talking about adversity and diversity, and I want to tell you we're all experiencing it. Today, Nat and I had a session scheduled to review TTR3. And for whatever reason, of course, Dr. Pat could not get it to work. And of course, 2 hours later, Nat shows me and sends me a screen and says, oh, looky, it is working. So somehow between it couldn't work for me and it worked for Nat with his magic touch, that's what we overcame. I could have had a meltdown. I could have done a bunch of things. But what is it when you bring somebody else in, like bringing Nat in, who's technically great, you have to bring in somebody that's not like you sometimes to help you. Today's show is about that. Let's go to the phones. We're going to connect everybody who would love to connect with Mark. But before we do, how do we find out more about what you're doing? Okay, we need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. I want to invite everyone to visit my website, which is afterlifefrequency.com, just like my latest book, The Afterlifefrequency.com. I'm very honored. This week, I'm on the cover of Awakened magazine. And so when you go to afterlifefrequency.com, you can find out about getting it online. I've got the May Light Circle coming up on Friday, May 16th. We've only got 2 tickets left, so they're going fast. And that's limited to 6 people, so everybody gets a reading. And from May 9th through the 11th, I'm going to be in San Rafael, California, which is on the north end of San Francisco Bay at the New Living Expo. Well, thank you, Nat. And at New Living Expo, I'll be giving a presentation called Debunking Death, the Science of Near-Death Experiences and Reincarnation. Plus, I'll be conducting some light circles and a gallery reading event. Plus, I'll be on an Ancient Mysteries panel. And a lot of my colleagues are going to be there, some really awesome guys. We had Mike Ricksecker on the show a couple years back. He's going to be one of the other speakers. And Kimberly Meredith, who is a healer and a good friend of mine. So we got a lot of very interesting speakers at New Living Expo. So everyone, please visit the afterlifefrequency.com. So Dr. Pat, I understand we got a number of callers on the line. What do you say we go to the phones?
Nat, it's all you.
All right, our first caller today is going to be Barbara from Arizona. Barbara, you are on the show right now.
Hey, Barbara, how are you? Let's hear your
Hello.
little voice there.
Hi, Dr. Pat and Mark Anthony.
I love that you said that. Great to have you. Can you hear us okay there, Barbara?
I think so, yes. I have it on speakerphone.
Okay.
I hope there's no echo.
Nope, you're doing really good. We love that. What I'm going to do is connect you with Mark. Remember, he is a genius in what he does. And so he'll guide you through what to say or not to say or when to say it. Because when he starts to get in his zone, you're going to get everything you need. Mark?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Pat. Hi, Barbara. How can I help you?
Yes, hello, Mark. Well, I'm not sure. You say you're a psychic lawyer.
Okay, let me explain.
I guess
hold on, Barbara. I'm a lawyer who is a psychic, and I'm a psychic who happens to be a lawyer. Okay, so when people call up with their legal problems, I do not give legal advice. Okay, so what I do as a medium is connect people with their loved ones in spirit. So I just want you to know that, because a lot of people call up and go, "Well, am I going to win my case? And if so, how much money?" And da 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 da. And that's not what I do. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of that. So, okay, so go ahead, Barbara.
Yes, I guess my was more about the astrology part of it.
Well, I'm not an astrologer. I'm a psychic medium. In other words, I communicate with spirits.
Okay. Yes. Okay. There was just a misunderstanding. I think Dr. Pat, an astrologer.
I'm going to help you out. I love that you called in with this question because it is really an interesting world, and I can help you a little bit with astrology for what's happening in this thing. You, I love what you just came in and asked because there is confusion around what is a psychic medium, what is somebody that does psychic readings. So what Mark does is he has an extraordinary gift, as you've heard on the show, where he can speak to our loved ones that have passed over. And a lot of times he has no idea who's coming through and he asks you a bunch of questions and his accuracy level is beyond, I can't even talk about it. But from an astrological point of view, may I ask you a question? What are you feeling for yourself? And what is your sun sign? When were you born? That's the question I have for you. Like December 11th. Of course. What month and day were you born, Barbara?
Yes. I was born on February 22nd. And also, my father was born on March 7th, and he passed away in 2012, March of 2012.
Mm-hmm. So where you are,
right after his birthday.
Yeah. So let me tell you where you are right now. So you are in this incredible sign and energy. Hello and happy past birthday. You're in this credible energy of Aries. I have talked about Aries on like 6 shows so far. And my mom, Mama Doris, was in Aries. And what Aries, does, and, honestly, when we're looking at the energy of that, Aries right now is really bringing forth our voice and our ability to do action. So I got to ask you a different question, right? What action do you want to take that you're not taking right now, Barbara? Just curious.
Well, I'm not sure, but
Okay.
I wanted to know about my father. He passed away, like I said, in
Okay. So let me
March.
connect you with Mark
All
and
right,
see
so
if anybody comes
Yeah,
through.
yeah, Barbara, that's what you should have let off with was
Yeah.
my dad's in spirit and I want to talk to him because that's what I do. Okay. So Barbara, let's see if we can get
Yeah.
your dad in here. All right. Well, you got a number of spirits coming through for you. This may be your dad. I'm getting a guy that was kind of like a medium build, and it looks to me he was older when he passed, but I'm not getting like super advanced age. He could have been like maybe in his 60s or 70s, the gentleman that's coming through, unless he was older than that and he looked younger. But I'm getting this gentleman coming through. And prior to passing, he was having a rough time physically prior to passing. I feel like if I was laying down, I just could not get comfortable. So something was going on that was physical agitation, physical discomfort. I'm getting this mental block. Now, the mental block can indicate that there was something going on with him, with his brain, or something going on mentally, which was affecting his lucidity, his clarity. It seems like he did know what was going on around him, but a real hard time communicating. And also, I'm getting very, very a nauseated feeling, which is an indicator that he was probably not eating much or having difficulty if he was eating. Sometimes nausea is a cancer indicator, but I'm not so sure about the cancer here. Although I am getting a lot of vascular issues too. Wow, this poor guy, he had, okay, to recap, vascular issues, that means circulation, difficulty breathing. There was something going on affecting his mental lucidity and clarity, and a sense of physical discomfort and agitation. Do any of these factors make sense to you in any way, Barbara?
Yes, thank you very much, Doctor. And Mark Anthony, I'm sorry.
You're so sweet. I love you.
Yeah, she is very nice. All right, so that makes sense. So let's see what he wants you to know. Wow, I really wasn't expecting a message like this. He said his passing was crucial to you stepping up to the plate. I don't want to say it's crucial to you growing up because that's not what he's saying. It's there was something with you and your dad, and he was such a major figure in your life, but his passing open the door for you. And I don't even want to say for you to mature, but for you now to become kind of the boss of your own life. In other words, you've got to get your validation from you. You've got to get your decisions from you. You've got to make your decisions and realize you don't need to consult with anybody else for that. That's what he's telling me. Does that make sense to you, Barbara?
It does. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I want to leave you with this. You and me, what was your birthday again? Tell me one more time, because I said you were an Aries. I just want to make sure.
February 22nd. Was that your birthday, Barbara?
Yes. Thank you.
Barbara, what's your birthday?
Yeah, February 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at is, for you as an air sign, this planetary, what'd you call it? Smiley face thing?
Smiley face, yeah.
Okay. But please, I honor all of you up there. Please don't send me a message. What I want to say to you is very important. For you as an air sign, which we said was Aquarius, correct? This can enhance communication, intellectual pursuits, and social connections. What are you wanting to do to connect with someone that you're just really hesitant doing?
I would like to have understanding between us.
But what is the adversity in some of your relations? Do you know what I mean? You don't have to answer.
Communication?
No, but are you having an adverse situation with a family member, a friend, somebody? Is any of that going on with you?
Yes.
Okay, that's all you need to say. For you, and thank you for saying that, because I knew it was going on there. I'm just saying, for you, with this triple conjunction, you can enhance communication, but you have to be willing to meet whomever who are halfway. Got it?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about. We're not going to talk about your personal stuff on air. Thank you so much, Barbara, for calling in. Okay.
Thank you, Barbara. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is very clear to me.
Yeah, she's a very nice, very sweet person. Very sweet
All
person.
of our people are sweet.
Well, yeah, we got a great audience. Speaking of which, we got some more folks on the line.
Let's
What do you
go.
say? Let's go.
Nat?
All right. Our next caller is going to be Karen from Michigan. Karen, you are on the show right now.
Hi, Karen. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi. This is my first time ever calling into a show.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you 500 questions before. No, I'm only kidding. Before I turn you over to Mark's, what can we help you with? And just give me your birth month and date, please. While Mark connects you, what would you like to have done tonight? Who would you like to connect with?
My partner.
Okay. And what's your birthday and month and date?
April 7th, 1966. 5:48 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We'd have to do a whole nother show for you. Mark?
Okay. Karen, hold on. Well, I know you want to talk to your partner, but we're getting a female energy coming through who is connected to you through your mom's side of the family. Because when my right hand tingles, that's your mom's side of the family. Now, could be a mom, could be an aunt, but this woman has a real grandmotherly vibe. And what I'm getting with her is this real tight pain at the bottom of the rib cage on the right side. That's in the area of the liver. And what I'm also getting is difficulty with her GI tract. So this lady was having a lot of issues with her liver, stomach, GI tract, colon prior to passing. And she looked like she was she looks like your grandmother. I mean, she's got the curly grandmother hair. And, I don't know if you ever saw that show, Mama's Family, with Vicki Lawrence, how she used to dress up like Mama. She kind of has that look to her. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but she's got that grandma look to her. Okay. Does this make sense to you in any way?
My grandma had blonde hair almost till she was 90, but it went white, but It was just short
Okay.
and not curly.
Okay.
She had a stroke. 2 of them, 2 strokes.
Okay.
I'm not aware of any kind of GI or liver or problems like that in my family anywhere.
Okay. Could this be, it doesn't have to be a family member. This is somebody else then. This is somebody else. It could be a family member. I mean, it doesn't have to be a family member. It could be a friend. Go ahead.
Okay. Somebody that, excuse
All right,
me,
hold on.
maybe I knew as a child. I don't.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Hold on 1 sec.
Let me just work with the spirit, and then she'll guide us on this. She was connected to you in some type of teaching capacity. So she could have been a mentor, college teacher, high school teacher. She was connected to you in some type of teaching capacity. Okay. And she is telling me that you always second guess yourself. And you have to start relying more on your own intuition. She said, because you're always spot on, but then you'll start overthinking. She said, that's why she's coming through, is to help guide you to start being more reliant on your feelings instead of overthinking things. Now, I am getting another person coming. I'm sorry?
Oh, I said I totally do that. And I used to have premonition dreams years ago.
There you go. Now, hold on. I got another person coming through, and I'm feeling an impact sensation to my head. Now, let me explain something. Normally, when I do private readings, I spend about 10, 15 minutes at the beginning going through an orientation, because an impact sensation to my head doesn't necessarily mean trauma. It means that the person coming through died very abruptly, unexpectedly. I am getting a male. And he keeps showing me cars. So this is a male who most likely died in a car accident, although it could have been a guy that really liked cars who died abruptly. Does that make any sense? And he's on your generational level.
Okay.
Not ringing a bell?
Well, not right now.
Okay.
I want to back up a bit. How'd your partner die?
COVID.
Of COVID?
Yes.
So sorry.
Yeah, very, very sorry. This is not your partner. This is a gentleman who passed in some type of motor vehicle accident, and the vehicles that I'm seeing, they look like they're like older cars, like back in like the 60s or the 50s. So this could be somebody associated with your parents who passed, because this guy looks like he was about between 35 and 40. So anyway, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense, or are you not sure?
Well, I think I mean, I know my parents' friends, and I can't think of anybody right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
The teacher thing, I wanted to ask the lady with the hair
Yeah.
that
All
looked
right.
like her grandmother. Did she look like a grandmother when I knew her? Was I younger or
All right.
teenager
Hold on, Karen. You're hyperanalyzing
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and when you do that, you create a block. See, when people overthink
Okay.
and hyperanalyze, they create a block. I'm describing this person. They usually come in looking the way they did prior to passing. Now, was your partner male?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's another guy coming in. He keeps showing me the number 21. Now, hold on before you start doing anything here. 21 could be 21 days. It could be a date. It could be the 21st of any month. It could be February 1st. It could be flip it. If it could be January 2nd. But there's a guy coming in. He's giving me 21. And I believe this is your partner, because I'm feeling this massive pressure on my sinuses, my throat, my chest, and I feel I've had COVID a couple times, and it always feels like I've been beat up. Yeah, it feels like someone's taken a baseball bat to my chest and my ribs. That's how I manifest it. Does this make sense? In other words, was it about a 3-week period when he got COVID to passing? Or is there something with 21? Okay. I'm
He had
sorry, go
sinus
ahead.
issues, and I met I met him when I was 21.
Okay, so we got him here. We got him here. And he has given you a song. He said, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me
Oh my
happy when
God.
skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you." Okay, so he's given me that song and he keeps handing you little yellow flowers, dandelions, and buttercups. And now I'm hearing, Buttercup, what's that song? Da, 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 da. Oh,
Oh
yeah, he
yeah.
loves this music, all that old kind of, even though that's not really your generation's music, he's given
Oh, I
us
love
all
that
that.
song.
You love, okay, perfect. So that's why he's giving you these songs.
But the
And
first one, he would sing that
oh,
sometimes.
there
He
you go.
sang.
See,
He was a
we just need
musician.
time to tune in. So we had these other two folks come in to kind of get the connections going, and then he knew when to pop in because that's why he led off with these songs. And he said that he goes, "You're looking for signs everywhere, and you see them. What's with you and all the little birds, little finches, little sparrows?" He's something like a little bird feeder, and I think probably everyone probably likes birds, but he showed me a lot of little tiny birds, sparrows, finches, all these cute little birds. Don't think. Go with the first thing that
Mm,
hits you.
yeah, I don't know. There's birds around here, but I don't really, not a bird watcher that much. Sometimes.
Okay. If I say sparrow, don't worry about how it applies to him. What does sparrow mean to you? You're thinking. Don't think.
Maybe.
Feel.
I'm not sure what a sparrow even looks like. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I just-
I'd suggest you start paying attention to birds because there's a reason that he's giving these things to me. Sparrows are little tiny bird. Sparrow. Write it down, look it up, and then you'll go, "Oh my God, they're everywhere." Okay. Also, when I think of sparrow, it triggers Captain Jack Sparrow, which was Johnny Depp's character in Pirates of the Caribbean. So there could be a Jack or a John that he's referencing. But anyway, I'm going to leave that with you.
Yeah.
Dr. Pat, what do you got?
I think you've got a lot to think about. So I'm going to let you think about all that and not confuse you with anything else. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nat,
thanks.
who do we have? Thank you so much. Nat, who do we have next?
Our next caller is going to be Robert from California. Robert, you are on the show right now.
Hey, Robert, welcome to the show.
Hello,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your birth day, month and day?
It's today, April 24.
Wow. Happy birthday. You and Shirley MacLaine.
Ooh, fasten your
Yeah.
seatbelt too.
And I think
how-
Barbara Streisand.
And Barbara Streisand.
And Barbara Streisand.
Yeah. How can we help you today?
Yeah. I have some big health challenges with cancer and money challenges, and I'd appreciate any input.
Okay.
It's your dad in spirit, and the reason I'm asking it because I got a dad vibe, a male energy coming through, connected to you through your father's side of the family.
He is in spirit.
He is in spirit. Okay. This is an interesting thing that he's leading off with, aside from, "Hi, I'm your dad," is wood carving. Did he either you or him like to carve wood or whittle or do anything with wood? He showed me wood carving, wood chips and wood carving. This could be symbolic too, but let's start with the most basic first. Whittling, wood carving.
No, I can't say it was. He wasn't a super handy guy. He was a cerebral guy.
Right, but what about with you? See, when a piece of information comes in, excuse me, it's not always about the spirit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a big doer and energetic and into a lot of things. So productive. Yeah, that could be
All right.
it.
So this applies to you. Hold on. Now, you got to realize neither Dr. Pat nor I, although we have doctorate degrees, we are not medical doctors. So we can't, give you medical advice.
Sure.
But he's focusing very heavily on dairy products. Now, that could mean you or him or someone very close to you may be lactose intolerant, or could mean, you love dairy, but what is it with dairy products? This is like, boom, hitting me really, really hard.
I'm not sure, but I do eat dairy, and I can't think of anything specific.
Okay, here's what I'm getting is that your diet is going to be key to your battle with cancer. And I don't want to tell you to stop ingesting, stop eating dairy products. You need to consult with your physician or with a nutritionist that helps works with cancer patients. But what I'm getting very heavily is now I'm tasting tabbouleh. I'm tasting the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet and the alkaline diet are very, very similar. And I'm going to recommend that you consult with a nutritionist about whether you should go over to the alkaline diet. Okay. Because that's what I'm getting here. And I'm also getting like cut out dairy. But once again, that's my interpretation. I am not specifically telling you to do that. The next thing he's talking about, Michelle. Michelle. Now, is there a Michelle connected to you or him? Michelle could be, excuse me, here on planet Earth. Michelle could be in spirit, but I'm hearing Michelle.
I can't think of a connection to Michelle.
That's okay. That's okay. I want you to not worry about that, because a lot of times, like I was doing a reading recently and I kept getting Fritos, and the client was like, no, 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 no. And then after the reading sends me an email, he goes, I didn't realize I bought 4 bags of Fritos earlier that day. Okay. And it was a friend of his in spirit coming through, which was trying to say, I'm around you, aware of what's happening. The Michelle may be a person you're going to meet. The Michelle could be connected to the dietary changes. Okay. But the fascinating thing, the reason this spirit and the others that are with him are talking about calcium. And calcium is an electrolyte. It's a mineral. There is something with you and calcium that is directly connected to what's going on with you physically. And that's why I think it's so important that you connect with a nutritionist, because this could be get calcium out of your diet, or maybe you need more calcium. But calcium is part of the issue here. Okay, Dr. Pat, what do you got? Okay.
I've got 2 things for you, along with Mark said. What were you doing in 1965? Were you even alive in 1965?
Yeah, I was 10 years old. So I was in 5th grade.
Did you like the Beatles?
Oh, yes.
Did you like the song Michelle?
Yes.
Michelle, my dear, some French
beautiful
word.
song.
Okay. Go ahead. Come on, Robert, sing it.
You go ahead.
No, you don't want to hear me sing.
Sans les mots qui vont très bien ensemble.
Sans très bien ensemble. Yeah.
Okay. So, so for me, and look at you laughing. I love it. There are a couple things that I want to say. I have 2 people that I go to for nutrition. One of them is Mary Jane Mack. You can go to her website. The other is Heather Walcott. Heather Walcott is a leading nutrition person. You can go both to their sites, Heather, WOLCOTT. Those are the people that when I want the science and understand nutrition and how it hits my body, that's Heather. When I want to understand what I need to help my body, that's Mary Jane Mack. The other thing, when Mark has something like that, we're not medical doctors, so I need to say it again. I'm just sharing my practitioners with you. Dairy is not just dairy. So I got a trick question for you. Do you like sugar?
Yes, that's my thing.
That cannot be your thing with cancer. Now, I'm not a doctor, but look it up. If you look up any article, and sometimes if you're like me, I like my ice cream. Okay, I just like my ice cream. I got to have my ice cream. But please, what we're saying is you're getting a message. Check out what you're doing to your body, and then you can tune into a show that I did about this. But please, these messages are to help you. You don't have to transform the world with this, but think about making one change at a time. But please talk to your doctor or one of the nutritionists we mentioned or anybody else, okay? But you already know sugar is no good. You know sugar ain't no good for you.
Right.
I mean, you ought to know that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're just here to remind you. Good job. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, many blessings to you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in, Robert. And you know what? Take Dr. Pat's recommendations and then get back with us.
Yes, please.
Check in with us. Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, Robert.
Okay.
I do. I love this. I love that he called in. I mean, you know, many of us that have been ill have had to learn these things. So when I talk about that, I talk about from my own experience. And I'm not saying it's easy to give up sugar. It's not, but it's a start. Now, Nat, who do we have? I think we have time for one more person, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Our last caller of the day is going to be Melissa from Michigan. Melissa, you're on the show now.
Hi, Melissa. How are you? Hi, Melissa. Melissa from Michigan. Are you there? Or your phone's acting up, isn't it? I can hear a little strange thing from your phone. Sounds like the beginning of the Matrix movie. Are you there, Melissa? Okay, why don't we go to...
Let's go to the next caller.
All right, we're going to move on. Our last caller is actually going to be Stacy. Stacy from Florida. Stacy, you're on the show now.
Hi, Stacy. Welcome to the show. How can we help you tonight? But tell me what day and month you were born. Stacy.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Stacy.
Welcome to the show. You're live.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. Just wondering, like you see a better job or, finances getting better.
All right.
Okay, so hold on for a minute. Mark is going to connect you with a loved one. Give me your birthday and time. Not time, birthday and month, real quick.
12/26.
Great. So what Mark is going to do is he's going to connect you with a loved one and see if we can get you a message. How's that sound?
And remember, Stacy, I know you have a list of what you want to hear, but that may not be what the spirits are going to address. Okay.
Right.
So I'm getting hold on. I'm getting a female energy coming through connected to you on the female side of your family. She feels more like an aunt than a mother, but this could be a stepmother, mother-in-law. It could be a mom, but she's on that generational level. And what I'm getting with her is, this is so funny. I keep smelling pizza. Okay, now I think a lot of people like pizza, but I'm getting this whole pizza. I'm smelling fresh baked pizza and I'm smelling the oregano. All right, what's up with pizza and oregano? Do you love it, hate
well,
it?
the job I have now, we get pizza every Friday.
Yeah, okay. I guess they are going to be addressing this. All right. So, and the female energy who's coming through, this lady had a great sense of humor, laughed a lot, had a lot of issues with her teeth, dentures, mouth.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's my mom.
That's your mom. All right. So she's coming through. And she said, honey, you can do anything you put your mind to it. She said, but don't be stupid about it. Get the job first before you quit.
Yeah, that sounds like something.
I mean, and that's good advice under any circumstances. And she's also talking about Sagittarius. Now, you're not Sagittarius, you're Capricorn, okay? Is there someone close to you that's a Sagittarius? And Sagittarius is roughly November 20th through December 20th, give or take a day or so on either end. And this Sagittarius feels connected to you somehow in the workplace, and you kind of gotta be on the lookout for that.
Oh, who's Sagittarius? I don't know. My mother always loved Sagittarius people. She was an Aquarius. Her favorite sign. She loved Aquarius men.
Okay. Okay, so that's what she's saying. Also, she said it's time for you to get out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. The problem with the job you're in now, it's too complacent for you. You said rise to the challenge and just handle it. That's her advice.
Mm, yeah. I know she's probably disappointed with my brother right now. Am I right? It's like, at least I'm working. My brother isn't really like doing anything with himself. He didn't, when she died, it became a hermit, my brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's going through his grieving. Dr. Pat, I'm going to let you address that
Okay.
because, yeah.
Yeah. So I got a couple of questions for you. I mean, clearly as a Capricorn, you're allowed to want beauty, but you're without aggressive ambition. And so this is to your point. You have a Capricorn's my moon. I got a bunch of planets in Capricorn. We tend to have a work ethic like nobody else. And then we expect other people to do that. I know, but I don't know what month your brother was born, but I'm just saying not everybody's going to be like you.
He's a Capricorn also, and he used to have a great work ethic. But
yes,
I think
right.
after my mom died from COVID, and I just think, I'm not sure, my brother had a nervous breakdown after my mother died, and I don't know if it's because of the COVID vaccine. He got a lot of boosters. I got one booster, but I didn't have any complications.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. Grief hits people in many ways. Mm-hmm. Grief stopped mm-hmm. me from wanting to work. So what I want to say is, what you really want to do is get to the place of understanding and compassion, which means you're going to have to listen without judgment. See, in this chart and this conjunction that's going on now, this is to have desire without justification for you. And that's going to be important. And what that means is you can desire a thing for yourselves, but each person has their own path. So you have to really, when was the last time you talked to your brother?
Today, I see him, I prepare his meals and everything. And, he's just, ever since she passed, he's just, he's really, it hit him, because he didn't, she went into assisted living, and that's where she got COVID. And that's why she had to go into
recommended assisted living. Okay, stay with me. I have 30 seconds. Who recommended assisted living?
Well, she needed more care than she needed a lot of care.
Who recommended it?
A doctor.
And what was his role in getting her in there?
Well, he told her that because she had a TIA.
Okay, so I got to stop you. I only have 10 seconds. When you make a decision and then something bad happens, you're not just carrying around grief, you're carrying around guilt. You're carrying around shame. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I really think your brother could benefit from a grief group or get some personal help. You understand? This is a very deep
I try to tell
psychological.
I tried to get him to grief counseling. He doesn't. He's very combative. It's difficult.
Believe me. The only thing I could say to you is you're not going to be able to make recommendations. That's like me recommending something for Linda. That's like a ridiculous thing. But what I'm trying to say is you can stop for a minute and listen and try to understand. So your questions for him have to be different now. They're more like, Mark, how are you doing today? What's going, and you may not get any answer, but you have to approach this very differently because you want to fix this and you can't. So the best you can do is try to get him to engage with you. Okay.
Yeah, that. Thank you. It sounds wonderful.
It's hard. It's really hard.
It is, and I have to work, I have to work. And it's just, I go to a job because I go to a job every day,
But I'm just going to tell you, you got to get some help for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You really do. Mm-hmm. This is where you are taking on the burden of a lot of things, and you need to take care of yourself. Can you do that?
Yes, I mean, it's time, because it's just like I feel like help. All I'm doing.
Go get a counselor. Go get somebody like a professional that can walk you through it. They will help you with healthy boundaries. They will help you understand. They will help you communicate. But you got to put yourself first, or you're going to burn out. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That makes sense.
Please do that. Take the baby step. Thank you so much for calling in. Boy, this was a message for a lot of people, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on. Thank you so much for everything. Mark, we'll see everybody next time.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic and the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.